So this week's already taken an unexpected turn. Last night we were in Santa Rosa recovering from our experience at the Blue Hole. Where shortly after we were just grabbing some gas so we can keep moving south, and our bus couldn't start. So luckily we had someone reach out. So after a few hours of his help, we were able to diagnose it to our starter. It is a pretty old unit, so we're pretty sure the gears are just getting too old and stuck with dirt and grime, and it's not catching with the flex plate to turn over the bus properly. So long story short, that leads us to where we are today. We were able to get the bus running by banging on the starter and dislodging the pinion gear. So without turning it off, we drove 2 hours in the middle of the night to get to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we are 10 minutes away from an international dealership where we're gonna get a brand new starter from these guys, and we should be able to install it and be good to go today. If it doesn't start, we're just gonna have to go bang it with a hammer again.
There it is.
There it is.
Different?
That sounds like a cold start.
Yeah. All right, so you can probably hear it, but we got the bus to start. We drove here last night, so it was pitch black when we got to Albuquerque, and we didn't really get to see anything on our way in. And I cannot believe some of the mountains you can see from here. It's beautiful. That's a lot of buses. All right, so we just pulled up at the international dealer. Jimmy's gonna go talk to them and just get a quote for what it would cost for them to replace it, just because if we were in our workshop in South Carolina with all the time in the world and no pressure to leave, we could totally do this ourselves, no doubt. The stakes are so high now that we're on the road, because if we try to do this repair in a Cracker Barrel parking lot, we have to get it finished before we've run out our welcome. If we do make a mistake and we can't get it fixed, we don't have the time to fix it ourselves. So we would have to call a tow, which would just make it more expensive. So we're just gonna get a quote to see what we're dealing with to have them do it for us. But we're parked next to another bus. There's a ton of buses here, I guess because they're an international dealership. I'm scared to say it, but I am optimistic. Hey.
So I just talked to the people at the international dealership, and we were able to successfully pick up the part. They had it in stock and it was all good to go. And they were quoting me like 2 to 3 hours at $150 an hour for labor. So we just said, no thank you. We took the part and we are 2 blocks down at a nearby Lowe's hardware store. And I think we're gonna try to do the swap ourselves.
And no surprise here, but this part from the international dealer ended up costing, after all the taxes and fees, like $470. We could have gotten it about $200 cheaper on Amazon, but the only one we found did not have good reviews. It would have taken more than a week to get here. It's not feasible while we're on the road to wait that long for a part. So I also feel good about this because it'll be the original equipment. It's a bummer that it's so expensive, but I think we're making the right call here. Wow.
That's very heavy.
Yeah, it looks pretty serious.
Well, this should be fun.
It's been a while since we've picked up the camera. We've just been focusing on switching out the starter. And everyone always talks about how it's so easy to switch out the starter. It's such a simple repair. It's just 3 bolts and 2 wires. And it's like, it's simple, but it's so cold. But we are so close. I think we're about ready to clean up and then test it. I really hope this works.
Look how awful do I look right now?
You look really dirty.
Hopefully we didn't just destroy our bus.
All right, I'm not gonna panic.
That's good.
I'm shivering from the cold, not fear.
Start up the glow plugs and wait for it one more time.
All right, sounds good.
All right, should we try it? I'm gonna scare the crap out of that car.
So obviously that's not what we were hoping to hear. I guess we got some figuring out to do. Good morning. It is the next day, and we figured out what the problem is. So we went to the international dealer because they're supposed to be best of the best. They know what the parts are. They know the engine inside out. Well, they gave us the wrong part. It's like the part number's wrong. And we only realized that after counting the pinion teeth on the little gear. The starter that we originally had has 10 teeth, whereas the one that the dealership gave us has 12 teeth. So it doesn't fit. It's a minor hiccup though. Mistakes happen, it's not a big deal, but it's just kind of funny. So what we're gonna do is we found another starter at an O'Reilly's in town. This one should definitely fit with our engine, and it should be really simple to install now that we've already installed one starter. It just wasn't a good fit. So we're gonna order a lift because the O'Reilly's is several miles away, and we're kind of on a time limit here because we're in a Lowe's parking lot. We can't stay here forever.
I don't think it's ever been this messy in here before. This looks embarrassing.
That's the old starter that we're trying to replace. That's the one we just picked up from O'Reilly's that should be the correct part. And this is the one that we just pulled out that was from the dealership and is the wrong part. So we currently own 3 school bus starters. Never thought I'd say that.
All right, I think we did it. And we feel a lot better now that we have a brand new starter.
So we came to Albuquerque initially just to get a part from the international dealer. You saw how that worked out. But we are still in Albuquerque, and so we want to take advantage of the opportunity because we've never been here before. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff, and the views are pretty cool from in town.
Close to 5 p.m. All right. All right, all right. So we are at the Petroglyph National Monument just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm actually really excited that we were able to come here because when Natalie and I were making plans of what to do in New Mexico, this was on the list. But we had to cross it off because we didn't have enough time because we really need to get to Arizona for Skoolie Palooza. So we actually crossed it off, and in place of that, we were gonna go south, but circumstances brought us to Albuquerque, so here we are.
We're gonna get to see 3 different volcanoes. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a volcano before in real life. They're not active, obviously. So this is the first volcano. I think it's called JA Volcano. We can't go up to it because it's marked off and it says you'll get arrested. It seems like they're real serious about conserving it. But it looks really neat even from down here because you can get pretty close. You can see like at the top there's a lot more what I assume are volcanic rocks because they're really black and they look kind of spongy almost. Those mountains are the Sandia Mountains. The big valley in the middle is the Rio Grande Valley, and then way over there you can see the city of Albuquerque.
It's so surprising how flat Albuquerque looks from here. It's so much different than all the East Coast cities where it's all really condensed and just nothing but skyscrapers. But here it looks like nothing but residential buildings all the way through just because of how flat it all looks. But I feel like I can even see downtown Albuquerque because it's the one spot in the middle that has a few tall buildings. Everything else, super flat.
You can see the Sandia Mountains on the other side of the valley really far away. And also, I guess because we're in the west now, you can see just a crazy amount of dust out on the horizon. I've never seen anything like it before.
I could definitely see why they call it Black Volcano because there's at least 5 giant mounds of black volcanic rock that look really cool.
So that's the 3rd and final volcano we're gonna see today. And it's called Vulcan Volcano. This doesn't sound quite right, so I might have it a little wrong, but it's definitely that one.
Sounds a little redundant to me. It's pretty light. You think it can fly?
Probably.
Like I'm throwing it up and it's catching the wind really well.
Ooh.
Bye-bye. See you in Arizona.
We'll meet you there. So Jimmy and I have been trying to figure out what these little things are growing these plants. They look like tiny yellow tomatoes. That's the best way I can describe them.
I don't know why she said tomatoes. They definitely look like berries.
No,
Right.
Berries are a little translucent. These are opaque, like a tomato.
Berries are translucent?
Right?
What berries are you eating?
Raspberries?
Blueberries?
Oh.
Cherries?
Cherries are translucent.
Are cherries berries?
I think so.
We're using this time to contemplate the existence of berries out here. What is a berry? Who are we? What are we to define a berry? These are the questions that New Mexico makes you ask yourself.
Because we don't have cell service to look it up.
That too. All right, I take back what I said about why the black volcano is called what it is. I don't know why this isn't called the black volcano, because this looks way cooler. It is a giant mound of volcanic black rock. The other one was like a playground of like 6 rocks. This is so much more impressive.
So I'm pretty sure I mispronounced it a little. I don't think it's the Vulcan volcano. That is pretty redundant, like Jimmy said, but all the signs pointing to it just say Vulcan.
All right, that's a big rock. And I know we're here to see the volcanoes, but we are in Petroglyph National Monument. So there should be petroglyphs somewhere on these rocks out here. And every big rock we cross by, I always look to see if it has any petroglyphs on it. Yeah, I'm always disappointed. I don't know where they're hiding them, but maybe this is not the trail for that. Maybe this is just the volcano trail.
Yeah, so this area that we're in is in the Petroglyph National Monument Park, but we're in the Albuquerque volcano portion of the park. And we haven't seen any petroglyphs, but we did see a sign saying that if you deface them or mess with them or try to damage them, you can be subject to a $25,000 fine. So it seems really serious. Whatever they're doing here seems to work though, because this place is pretty spotless. There's hardly any trash here at all.
You guys want to see a really cool rock? It looks like a volcano rock, but it's like bright red. Could just be clay, maybe. I have no idea.
Looks like
really
a
cool.
sponge to me.
Yeah, it looks very spongy. I think we better leave it though. Gotta take the videos and leave the rocks.
That was a beautiful hike. I've never seen a volcano before, so to see 3 in one day is really just such a cool experience.
As much as we'd love to stay here, it is getting kind of cold and they do close in about an hour. So we're gonna go ahead and head out, but with any luck, we'll be back out here in the national park tomorrow and maybe we can actually find some petroglyphs.
Oh my god, the dog's like running into the road.
Really?
Yes.
Where is he?
He just went that way. Like,
To the right?
yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I don't want to. He's still running.
Gosh.
Oh, the park ranger's gonna go.
Gosh, he tried to help.
I know, he's doing his best. He deserves a
Oh my
raise, dude. He's like booking it, trying to help that dog. Oh, he's got his lights on! Gosh, that guy's an MVP, dude. He's out there helping that dog.
We were getting ready to leave and start the trailhead, and we saw this German Shepherd running around the parking lot with a leash hanging from him. We didn't think anything of it until we saw a park ranger that was parked nearby get out of his car, and he never went to go grab the dog, but he was looking for the owner, and I guess when he was looking for it, the dog ran off and sprinted down the road past the little intersection, and like 3 or 4 cars had to slam on the brakes.
That was super scary to watch, because that's a really busy road. People are going really fast, and thankfully the dog made it across without getting hit, but that park ranger is like doing his best to help though.
Yeah.
I think the owner's looking for him. Jimmy's gonna go explain to him what happened.
Okay, so I just talked to the owner of the dog. He came running out of the trailhead screaming for the dog's name. So I ran after him and I told him what was happening. And he told me that they were hiking on the trail with his dog, and 2 pit bulls that someone else was hiking with started to attack them. And so he let go of the dog's leash, and their German Shepherd ran off back down the trailhead, and that's why we saw him in the parking lot. And I guess he just kept running, and that's why he ended up across the street. So him, and it looks like they were here with like at least 2 other cars, and they started traveling down the road kind of where I was pointed towards. I don't see any of them anymore, so like, I hope they're okay.
No, that's
now I'm scared to walk the trail because they said they were attacked by 2 pit bulls.
I want to know if they're okay. I don't know if we ever will. Well, before all of the dog, I don't know what to call it because it sounds insensitive to call it drama, but misfortune with the guy's dog. We were gonna tell you that we're at Petroglyph National Monument. We are doing the Rinconada Trail, where I think we're gonna be able to see some actual petroglyphs here.
We were already lucky enough to see one road runner.
Oh, is that a road runner?
Maybe.
So hard to see.
I know, he blends in so well. So that was really cool. We're just looking out for coyotes now.
There is one of the pit bulls that was involved in the dog incident is running around loose, but we haven't seen her in a little while. So that might be the closest we get to a coyote today. But there's rattlesnakes here too, so lots of exciting wildlife.
Some of those I would like to see, some of those I don't ever want to see.
I think it would be cool to see a rattlesnake from a distance, but
maybe from a distance.
Yeah. It might be too cold for them today though.
So where are you supposed to see the petroglyphs? Is it supposed to be on the black rocks, like past the fence, or are we supposed to come up right next to them?
I think they're on the black rocks, but I hope the trail gets us closer to them later.
Yeah, because it's way too far for me to see. Actually, look, see, is that one right there? It looks like a guy with a hat, like a side brim hat right there. I see the dog.
You do?
Yeah, he's over there.
Oh snap, I see him. Kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I hope he's friendly. Because he might be friendly towards people, but not dogs. Hey, pup. Please be nice.
We'll find out.
Please be nice. Oh my goodness.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, puppy.
You want to call your owner?
It's got a tag.
Well, it's back on the trail, so.
He's heading in the right direction.
All right, this is the closest we've been to any rocks, so can you see any petroglyphs?
This trail has about 300 different visible petroglyphs that are visible at different times, depending on a lot of different factors, like what time of day it is, what the condensation is like in the air, which basically means you can't see all of them all the time, but you can see some of them at different times. Some Pueblo elders say that the petroglyphs here choose when to reveal themselves and to whom they reveal themselves, so you can take some kind of special meaning from them, and I think that's a really cool idea.
All right, we're getting really close to some rocks now, so we're keeping our eyes peeled for some nice rock carvings or petroglyphs.
That one looks like it has some stuff on it, but I can't tell what it's supposed to be.
Kind of looks like a sun, maybe?
Yeah, could be. We also saw a sign recently saying that like modern Pueblo culture says that it's not appropriate to try to decipher all of these. On the same sign, it said that some of them are birds though. So I don't know. There's ones that you need to not think about too hard, and birds.
You know, in hindsight, taking you guys along on a petroglyph nature trail where it's known to be difficult to see the petroglyphs even in daytime might not have been a good idea, but I hope you guys are enjoying it at least half as much as we are, because it is kind of fun. It's like a huge game of
I Spy?
Yeah, I Spy. It's like a huge game of finding what is it called?
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? That's it. Finding Nemo's in my head.
Finding Nemo is last week's video.
Yeah. Okay, there's literally a fish down there right now. And we found him.
Yeah. All these are like, oh, there's a cool one up there. February 22nd, 1919.
Oh, I don't think that's a proper petroglyph.
I mean, but it looks like them.
It has a date on it. Didn't these rock carvings happen like hundreds or thousands of years ago?
Some images carved into the basalt are mistaken by visitors for modern graffiti.
It literally has a date on it. We can date it back 100 years. Okay, that's definitely a chicken up there.
It's a very distinguished bird. Now I kind of get what the sign was saying, because some of these are like, ooh, I don't know, and then that's definitely a bird.
Oh, I see some more birds above the smiley face.
Okay, that does look like a bird.
It looks straight up like a bird.
Or a boat.
What are you talking about? Nah, it's got feet.
Oh, yeah, that's a bird.
I feel like this hike has just become us trying to decipher what's actually graffiti and what's actually petroglyphs. It's honestly really hard.
That looks like graffiti for sure, right? Because none of the other ones are colorful.
The petroglyphs are literally rock carvings.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, it's sheep, I think.
Oh, that's probably smart, yeah. They have horns and stuff too.
Ooh, boy sheep. Or rams, I guess. This area was used by sheep herders and their sheep as like a grazing area, so I'm pretty sure that those are sheep.
Natalie, there's a Teletubby twerking over there.
What the heck? What is that supposed to be?
You know, that's probably exactly why there was a sign saying that most of these haven't been deciphered and that they actually refrain from deciphering some of these. That's why. They just stick to the birds, the ones they're confident about. I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for any rattlesnakes out here. Every now and then we see a little bit of a sliver through the sand, but the more we think about it, the more it's probably just one of the loose dogs running around with their leash dragging behind them. At least that's what we're telling each other. I haven't had this much sand in my shoes since preschool.
We were able to talk to the park ranger and give him a written statement, just letting him know what we saw. I wasn't sure if we were ever gonna find out what happened with the dog from earlier, but he's gonna be okay. Unfortunately, he did get hit by a car, but he's at the vet and he's gonna be fine. So they're speaking with the owners of the 2 pit bulls that were also involved. The black pit bull that we saw running around off leash did belong to them, and animal welfare got involved, and I think they're getting their dog back. All of the dogs involved have been accounted for, and they're all going to be okay. I thought we would have an interesting hike today, but not for these reasons.
All right, Natalie. You ready to move on to our next adventure?
I sure am.
Where are we going this time?
There's 2 bunnies right outside of our bus. That little guy's eating.
This is such a weird thing to see at a Cracker Barrel. The interstate is right there. They were first sitting right there, then they started walking towards our bus.
Hopping, Jimmy. They hopped. I've never been able to bunny watch from my bed before. It's bus life, I guess.